Key point 1. Embrace your imperfections. Imagine standing at a crossroads, one path leading to familiar comfort and the other to an unknown journey, filled with challenges but brimming with potential. Jessica Honegger faced this choice at a pawn shop, where she made a tough decision to part with treasured family jewelry, symbols of her privileged past, to fund a dream, the Noonday Collection. The dream was about empowering women in developing countries to launch businesses, fostering a brighter future by selling handcrafted jewelry and accessories. Dreams require action, not just aspiration. During this summary, immerse yourself in a journey of accepting imperfections and stepping forward despite fears and self-doubt. Acknowledge the internal battles that often paralyze you, the fear of not falling short, the anxiety of appearing different, and the hesitation to embrace your unique pace and quirks. Prepare to redefine courage as the decision to act despite fear, not the absence of it. Learn to confront the unknown, recognizing that the cost of inaction far outweighs the discomfort of change. Intrigued? Let's dive in. Key point 2. Courage should be intentional. What defines imperfect courage? It challenges the traditional view of courage as fearlessness, urging people to act despite fear. A great example of this is the personal story of Jessica and her Noonday project. She went from the early days of sitting with just a few handmade necklaces to profoundly impacting artisans' lives. It is tempting to stay where you are and let things be how they have always been. However, if you want to make a difference in your life or the lives of others, you should do what you want, even if you're scared. Questions like, what if this does not work out? Or, what if I get hurt in the process? Can limit your potential. Fulfilling things are waiting for you just outside of your comfort zone. In the same way that a toddler learns to walk by walking, we get our courage legs under us only when we stand to our feet and move. Jessica Honegger. One day, Jessica was in Rwanda to complete the adoption of her son. The process was challenging, and at one point, she found herself in a judge's chambers with other families while awaiting a decision on their respective adoptions. The situation was tense because judicial rulings typically took at least 2 days, and the odds seemed against them. Despite feeling scared and uncertain, Jessica addressed the judge directly and from the heart, pleading for the judicial rulings to be read in court on the same day, an act considered impossible by their lawyers. Remarkably, the judge, moved by her sincerity, ruled in favor of all the family's adoptions that day. This act of bravery, stepping beyond her comfort zone and speaking up in a seemingly hopeless situation, paid off. Jessica's courage not only impacted her family's life by enabling the adoption of her son, but also positively affected the other families present. The experience also reinforced her belief in standing up for what is right and fighting for her beliefs, even in the face of adversity. Courage is taking a step, even when the path is unclear. Key point 3. From self-doubt to self-worth. The path to self-improvement and authenticity often encounters obstacles, particularly internal ones. A crucial step in this process is recognizing and confronting the voices of self-doubt. These internal critics can erode confidence and create feelings of inadequacy. Identifying and challenging these negative thoughts is essential to move forward confidently. Here, you must focus on the significance of embracing your unique experiences, highlighting the importance of confronting and overcoming the itty-bitty baloney sauce committee. This metaphor represents the self-doubt and negative self-talk inside your head. By acknowledging these internal barriers and critics, you can control them and fully engage with your experiences. Don't let external standards define your worth. You may be striving to rewrite your story to meet society's expectations. Yet, it would be best to understand that such efforts prevent you from truly living. Your story may be imperfect and full of mistakes, but it is in those little quirks that the beauty of authenticity resides. Embracing yourself in all your imperfections is a valid path to finding the courage to step forward. People tend to put labels on themselves or others. However, it would help if you used person-centered language to regain your worth. For example, rather than saying that you are a procrastinator, say that you are someone who is struggling with time management. Do not place a label on yourself that defines who you are. Before anything else, remember that you are a unique human being an individual. Everyone holds inherent worth, irrespective of physical abilities, appearance, or societal standards. The story of Tessa, a child with no limbs, illustrates this principle. Megan, Tessa's mom, changed Jessica's perspective on human worthiness by shifting how they talk about Tessa. She is a girl with limb differences. Girl first, everything else comes second. When we chase our worthiness instead of embracing it, we eventually will run out of breath. Jessica Honegger. You can overcome internal doubts and societal pressures by accepting your unique experiences and acknowledging your inherent value. This mindset leads to a life of fulfillment, confidence, and self-assurance. Transitioning from self-doubt to self-worth involves more than silencing negative thoughts. It's about tuning into the voice of your true self. Did you know? Nearly 80% of women struggle with low self-esteem and often lack the confidence to advocate for themselves at work, according to the National Bureau of Economic Research. So, 4 out of every 5 women may miss their full career potential due to a lack of confidence and awareness of their true worth.
You've hit a daily streak by completing 3 key points. Great job.
Key point 4. Find strength in vulnerability. Everyone wants to be heard and seen by those around them. Achieving this connection requires 2 essential elements: vulnerability and empathy. Embracing vulnerability and creating compassionate environments involves others, turning vulnerabilities into gateways to deeper connections and understanding. Far from being considered a weakness, vulnerability should be perceived as a source of strength and authenticity. Take this story from Jessica's daughter, Amelie. A kid in school told her that her arms were hairy, just like her dad's. She shared this with her mother, and a deep connection formed between mother and daughter in that moment of openness and vulnerability. Jessica not only erased the mark on Amelie's self-esteem, but also empowered her, fostering acceptance of her body as it is. Now for compassionate spaces. These are environments where people can share their vulnerabilities without fearing judgment. It took a tremendous deal of courage for Norbert Munana, the 1994 Rwandan genocide survivor, to tell his story that illustrates this point. Orphaned at 16, he worked multiple jobs to graduate from university and help others in the future. Norbert leveraged his traumatic experience to help organize the adoption process for Jessica and her husband. Norbert has never shared his story with anyone apart from the Honeggers. A couple of years later, he decided to open up to a group of Noonday ambassadors and, most importantly, his wife. His willingness to share his traumatic experiences with more people demonstrates the healing power of vulnerability. If Jessica hadn't found the strength to listen and empathize with Norbert's story, he wouldn't have sought the opportunity to deepen his connection with his beloved. To practice empathy, be a safe space for people to share their experiences freely. There are 3 common barriers to creating compassionate spaces. 1. The tendency to compare. 2. Judgment. 3. The willingness to remain passive in the face of others' struggles. These patterns must be actively challenged to cultivate environments where vulnerability is cherished. The focus should be empathy instead of judgment, collaboration over competition, and active support rather than passive observation. Did you know? There's a social psychological theory called the bystander effect, or bystander apathy. It suggests that individuals are less likely to help a victim when others are present. The theory was first proposed in 1964, following the tragic murder of Kitty Genovese. Key point 5. The sisterhood effect and the power of collaboration. Shifting your mindset from judgment to empathy is beneficial in many ways. When people feel like they're being judged, it's natural to put up walls and become defensive. Such an attitude can create a hostile environment that inhibits the growth of a strong sisterhood if we talk about women's empowerment. The sisterhood effect is a concept that emphasizes the strength derived from women supporting each other. An example is the inspiring bond between Wideline and Ginny, who have demonstrated the power of sisterhood in action. Over a decade ago, a woman named Wideline was a pregnant woman living in poverty in Haiti. Her father suggested that she give her baby up for adoption. An American woman named Ginny adopted the baby. Today, Wideline is an assistant manager at a clothes workshop in Haiti. She has 2 sons and is a landowner, which is rare for the area. She wanted to be in more regular contact with her daughter's adoptive mother, so she reached out to her email. Wideline overcame her fear and asked if she could meet her biological daughter and her adoptive mother. In response, Ginny wrote a letter to Wideline, expressing gratitude for trusting her to raise their daughter and eagerly anticipating the day they could all meet and create lasting memories together. The story shows that choosing grace and empathy over judgment and blame can build a world of love and understanding. Connection breeds courage. Courage fosters change. The story of Mama Jabal, a Ugandan artisan for Noonday, highlights the immense power of collaboration, especially when faced with daunting challenges. Her experience mirrors that of countless women worldwide who endure domestic abuse and oppression, yet her community support turned her situation around. When she was most vulnerable, her colleagues stepped in with emotional support and practical help, offering a place to live, daily essentials, and the means for a fresh start. This act of collective generosity exemplifies the courage inherent in collaboration. It shows that when people unite, they can transform lives, providing strength and resources not easily attained alone. In a collaborative culture, people are encouraged to express their needs and contribute, embodying the idea of either being a source of strength like a mountain or finding support when needed. Key point 6. Expand your circle and leverage privileges for global impact. As the world strives for positive change, each person's sphere of influence wields immense power. Expanding this invisible but impactful circle can significantly alter lives and communities. But it starts with the realization that your actions, choices, and voice have the potential to create change. At the core of widening your circle of influence lies empathy. More than just feeling sorry for someone, empathy allows you to put yourself in other people's shoes, to understand their struggles as if they were your own. Empathy isn't just a feeling, it's an action. It's about recognizing and using your unique gifts to make a difference. Your passions aren't random, they're pointers to your purpose in life. Whether you're an artist, an engineer, or a teacher, your skills have the power to contribute positively to the world. Empathy in action transforms the world. Your impact spans beyond empathy. The social circle expansion links to leveraging your power for the greater good. Recognize your unique influence, irrespective of your background, and harness it to uplift others. Try transforming privilege from a source of guilt into a powerful tool for positive change. It's about shifting from a self-centered approach to a community-oriented perspective, where strengths are used not just for our benefit, but for the betterment of others. Imagine the impact of each person using their socioeconomic status, education, or network to fuel not just their ambitions, but also the aspirations of those less fortunate. It is not about grand gestures, but about consciously understanding and supporting people from different walks of life. Take a step forward and choose from these 5 areas to make a difference. 1. Your power. What if you utilized your abilities to not only enhance your own existence, but also the lives of those around you? 2. Your financial resources. What if you become fixated on being generous? 3. Your priorities. What if your timetable aligned with your purpose? 4. Your proximity. What if you positioned yourself closer to the issue? 5. Your perspective. What if you embraced rather than avoided contradictions? Key point 7. How to be an active advocate of change. Embracing the long-term view of your commitments and not being deterred by inevitable challenges is essential. When you commit fully to a challenging but rewarding endeavor, you stop looking for an easy way out and instead face difficulties head-on, believing in your purpose so profoundly that you'd rather fail than give up. It is also essential to distinguish a fixed mindset from a growth mindset. The story of Holden, Jessica's son, teaching a friend to roller skate is a powerful illustration of embracing a growth mindset. When his friend falls a couple of times after he sets his feet on the ground skating and immediately feels like he is so bad at it, Holden tells him that you cannot fail at a thing you're doing for the first time. Standing up and trying again is what matters. Consistency matters. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Sustainable impact is a marathon, not a sprint. It's important to understand that self-care is essential to avoid burnout and maintain the energy needed to achieve your visions. Try finding harmony between effort and ease hustle, and peace. How do you wind down and have a fulfilling moment of relaxation? Here is a short list of 5 practices to help you find balance. 1. Regular exercise. 2. Mindfulness and meditation. 3. Spiritual connection with your partner, for instance, praying together. 4. Quality time with friends. 5. Phone-free time, unplugging from social media. Building a flourishing world is a collaborative endeavor. The world needs contributions from each individual in unique ways. It is ready to welcome all that you are, your history, struggles, fears, talents, and quirks. This is your moment to step in and become part of something where your unique presence is not just wanted, but needed. The world needs you. Conclusion. The essence of courage isn't in fearlessness, but in the determination to move forward despite the fear. It's about seeing challenges not as obstacles, but opportunities for growth and understanding that true impact requires long-term commitment and endurance. Facing self-doubt and transforming it into self-worth is vital. It involves shifting the focus from societal expectations to embracing your unique story. Recognizing your inherent worth, irrespective of your imperfections, is crucial to authentic living and impactful change. Vulnerability and empathy emerge as strengths, not weaknesses. You foster deeper connections and understanding by opening yourself up and creating compassionate spaces. These qualities are essential in building a collaborative culture where people support each other and collectively overcome challenges. Making a significant impact requires a blend of courage, resilience, empathy, and collaboration. It's about recognizing your unique role in this interconnected world and taking steps, however small, toward making a difference. Try this. Challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone this week. Practice self-compassion and acknowledge your worth daily. Reflect on how your unique skills can contribute to your community. Engage in a kind or supportive act for someone outside your immediate circle.